My first stint was as a student. Texas A&M had sent all of their freshmen for 4 years out to the old Bryan Air Force Base to further their education, primarily I think because of crowded conditions on the campus and to decrease some of the hazing that was going on. And I stayed there for my freshman year. I can never forget my mother bringing me up here. I had really never seen Texas A&M. I certainly had never seen Bryan Air Force Base. And she drove into the base. We lived in big barracks, 20 students per barracks, the old tar paper shacks as we call them. And she dropped me off with my footlocker, and that was everything I had was in one Army footlocker. She told me later on that when she left me there, drove back, she cried all of the way because she'd never seen such a barren place in her life. And it didn't turn out to be too barren. The places you make the places where you are. The barracks were thin-shelled, cold, heated by 2 heaters in the barracks. When the wind was blowing, the wind came through the cracks. When the wind wasn't blowing and it was hot and you were an engineer and you were trying to do your engineering drawings with sweat dropping onto your paper when you were trying to do this, it became a bit of a challenge on a thing. But it gave us a bonding system, though. I think that possibly students don't quite get the bonding you had when you go through an experience like we went through at the Annex. We started out with about 1,200 students, and we ended up with about 800 probably graduating. One of our deans told us, and he gave us an inspiring speech and said, look on your right and your left because they won't be there when you graduate. At the end of the freshman year, we went back onto the campus at College Station, and I struggled through and managed to graduate from Texas A&M in 1954. At that time, I had gone through the ROTC program and was eligible for a commission in the Air Force. At that time, the Air Force did not have enough contracts or spaces to commission me as a second lieutenant in the Air Force, and they told me that I could come on as an airman first class if I wanted to, and I told them I didn't think I would wanted to. I would just wait a year and then come back. They thought they would have some commissioning spaces available next year. I went back and taught school in Pasadena, Texas for a year, and then they called me back to active duty. And of all places to send me on my first active duty place was back to Bryan Air Force Base, the place where I started. I was commissioned as second lieutenant there and stayed there until about 1958 when they closed the base. But before they closed the base, I had gotten married. And we had a child which was born in a base hospital. Not too many people, my classmates can say that, although a lot of them got married. Anyway, and the Air Force then sent me to England, and I stayed there for 3 years and then back to San Antonio for another 2 before I decided to leave the Air Force.